In 2022, the Nigeria Court of Appeal shut down all charges against Nnamdi Kanu and ordered his release. Was that court judgment obeyed? Was it enforced by any of the law enforcement agency? The answer is no, because that wasn't what they want. That wasn't their destination. An appeal court. You get the point. Rather, they arraigned him and started the trial and finally now got convicted to life imprisonment, and the implementation, the enforcement was so immediate. What country are we having? But the good thing is that the international community is seeing this. I was so happy when I saw these issues and so many others being discussed in the US Congress. The United States Congress is discussing pressing issue in Nigeria. And what is the Nigeria Senate? I mean the Nigeria National Assembly. What are they doing? They are standing on Tinubu's mandate and campaigning for 2027. Before I continue, watch this video.
Nnamdi Kanu is a clear example. In 2022, Nigeria's Court of Appeal struck down the charges against him and ordered his release. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also called for his unconditional release. Yet he remains in solitary confinement, in deteriorating health, and recently had to represent himself in court. Nigeria has signaled that the law is optional and targeting Christians is fair game. Just hours ago this morning, despite the pleas and cries of the Nigerian people and many Nigerian lawmakers, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on all charges. For fiscal year 2025, the U.S. has requested nearly $8 billion for sub-Saharan Africa. But when Americans see political prisoners, judicial defiance, and the slaughter of Christians, they understandably ask as they meet their own struggles, why should our tax dollars support governments that refuse to protect their own people? Is our aid aiding a genocide? Nigeria is a nation of tremendous potential, but that potential is being choked out by violent persecution of its Christian population. No country can build a stable future where churches are burned, believers are killed, and communities live in fear.
Were murdered, killed in a church. Now, I want to ask this. So, one question was, did things improve? I think the answer is no on that. Here's the question. Proportionally, do we see Christians killing Muslims in Christian areas of Nigeria the way that we are seeing radicalized Islamists killing Christians in Muslim areas of Nigeria?
What I can tell you, Representative Huizenga, is that Christians are disproportionately targeted based on their population.
Exactly. And by the way, for those that you can't pick up with the microphones, there's audible yeses behind you. Again, the people that are watching who are nodding their heads. Why? Because they have lived this. Their families have lived this. I went to school with kids from Nigeria. I've got neighbors who've been missionaries there, who have family there, who have friends there, who know this is going on. Yet we've got not just the mass media, we got people within Congress denying that this is happening, or certainly de-emphasizing it. It ought to be outrageous that it is Christians, moderate Muslims, anyone being terrorized by these radicalized Islamists in Nigeria, and we've got the Tinubu government sitting back and not doing enough. I recently just was interviewed by Nigerian television, Arise TV. And that was really their question. Is the Tinubu government doing enough? And I had to answer, no, they are not. And I do not understand how a delegation can come here to the United States and downplay and come up with all of these other excuses as to why this is allowed to happen. It should be rejected and should be called out for what it is.
Just yesterday, 25 little girls were kidnapped from their school, and one school official murdered trying to protect them, from Maga Comprehensive Girls Secondary School in Kebbi State. Colleagues, this is happening. It's undeniable, and it's unacceptable. The United States condemns these attacks in the strongest terms, and it demands accountability. And as President Trump has made clear, we will not stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria. The government of Nigeria must take immediate steps and do more to increase security, respond to early warnings, end impunity, and address the drivers of violence. And colleagues, we need to see African leadership on these matters. and we need to see a coordinated response among all countries in the region. The situation is critical.
That was the troubles of Nigeria being deliberated at the floor of the US Congress, which is equal to our National Assembly here in Nigeria. And based on this again, I will ask, of what use is the Nigerian National Assembly to the citizens of the Federal Republic? If you cannot outline them, then we might be said to say they are useless. I mean to the ordinary and vulnerable citizens, not to Akpabio and his gang, not to Wike and Co., not to Tinubu himself, to the ordinary citizens of Nigeria who are in the vast majority. Of what use is this National Assembly? We should be asking ourselves that. Now, all the way from the United States of America, you heard it from them, that Nigeria have signaled that the law is optional and targeting non-Muslim. See, to be above the law in Nigeria is either you are a Fulani or you are a stakeholder in the APC. Any of these two catapult you above the law. And I'm glad that the US knows that. They know also that there is a genocide by the Muslim against non-Muslim in Nigeria. This is obvious. But sadly, Nigeria will spend our hard-earned tax to send delegates to the United States to keep denying this obvious fact. What a shame. And for you Nigerian leaders involved in this shameful act, shame on you people. I pour you all spit. Pour. Be ashamed of yourself. No matter how much you deny it, they are seeing you from afar. You get the point. Now, Nigeria's situation being discussed in America and our National Assembly, busy campaigning for Tinubu and 2027, busy standing on Tinubu's mandate. They are rather more focused on the return of Tinubu, a woefully failed president in 2027. The 2027 that majority of them may never witness. If only there was a God, that would have been a prayer that should be answered. But unfortunately, Nigerians and humans are the God. But 2027 might be close, but it's still very far. Anything can happen within now and then. It's very unfortunate that Nigeria don't have a National Assembly for the people, on the side of the people. We just have some lawyer boys singing mandates, singing praises, praise singers of the executive. Very, very bad. Please, America and Donald Trump, hasten up. Nigerians are running out of patience. So I don't know what you guys think. Please use the comment section. Don't forget to share this video. Thank you.